welcome to the Northern Knits podcast. We are two sisters in fiber coming to you from Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada, in two separate locations because Diana's going to the lake tomorrow.
And it's too hot outside to travel.
Nobody in the freaking right mind thinks Jocelyn's going to leave her perfectly air-conditioned house to go outside in 32-degree heat before the humidity on a high UV rating day.
Oh, is
We're
that what it
under a
was
freaking
today?
we are under
Oh.
a heat warning, dear.
Oh, I just stopped looking at the weather because it was making me sad.
I looked at it and went, no, we can record via distance. Yeah, because I'm not, no, no.
Yeah, we have a
Mm-mm.
patio at work, so I was sitting outside for the morning, and by the time like 11:30
Were
rolled
you,
around, I'm like, it is
why?
too hot out here. I'm going inside.
I stayed up late to watch Critical Role last night, so I didn't get up till 10:30 this morning.
Oh, you missed the nice cool part of the morning then.
It went to 2 a.m. It was a long session. There was a whole bunch of drama. One of the characters died.
Whoa.
It was a
Spoilers.
big deal. If anybody here watches Critical Role, I'm sorry. We are a knitting podcast. We may talk nerdy things every once in a while.
Hmm.
It's hard because Ben didn't make it all the way to the end, and he was saying he got spoiled by social media in the morning. So I was like, "Have you watched the end of the episode?" And he's like, "Yeah, social media spoiled it for me already." I'm like, "I'm sorry." They're short a healer, guys. It was a possibility.
I saw that something happened on Twitter, but I didn't figure out what it was. I would just like to say a technical note. Um, there is nothing we can do
Technical
about
note?
this because there is this internet weirdness going on, but sometimes Jocelyn's
Mm-mm.
video is out of sync with her audio, and there is nothing I can do about that. I'm sorry. The internet's
Not
being
my
dumb.
fault. Not my fault. I'm on my
Nope.
data. I'm not even on Wi-Fi.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on there.
I've taken out as much of the variability as I can on my end.
Yeah. Just so you know, we see it, we're sorry. There's nothing we can do about it.
We know it's there. It exists. I can try reconnecting to the Wi-Fi when you talk and see if that helps with the syncing up any.
Eh.
It is a thing that happens because technology.
For our audio listeners, this affects you not at all. So, yay.
Not even remotely. So, long story short, if you're an audio listener, if you get a chance or an opportunity, we know it's boring, but we would love for you to leave a review for us, or join us on Ravelry, or Facebook, or Instagram, all these other places that we exist on. It is
Mm-hmm.
all under the banner of Northern Knits Podcast. You can Google us. We do show up. It is a thing. Diana kindly does the show notes. They're way more complete than anything I would do. They're found on the Northern Knits webpage, which is northernknitspodcast.com. Otherwise, Diana's going to let everybody know what we're going to cover this week, and I'm going to see if I can make my connectivity issues go away, because I'm not sure it's me.
All right. So this week, looking over here at my notes, we are covering some What's in Our Cup, Woolly Workings, Fiber Flubs, Yarn on the Go, So Little Time, Wool Gathering, and Events. Oh, and we may have lost Jocelyn temporarily. Okay. Well, this is fun. Hey, future editing Jocelyn. Maybe want to cut this part out.
Future editing Jocelyn's going to have a lot of fun.
You seem more in
Future
sync,
editing
though.
Jocelyn's. Cat, I fiddled around with something. Hopefully that helps on your end. We're really overdue for a thunderstorm out here, and they're calling for one, so I suspect it's the extra electrons in the air that are making my head kill me and messing with the Wi-Fi.
All
We'll see if
right.
that helps.
Well, we're doing our best, so let's forge ahead and it'll be what it is.
I'm sniffling all day anyway, so I already sound like I have a drug problem. Just need plants to die. Just need the plants to die, and it'll be so much better.
A couple more months.
I know. That's the tragedy of it all.
So, what are you drinking this week? What is in your cup?
Well, what is in my cup? I have some, what did I say? Angel White? White
White
Angel.
White Angel.
White Angel tea from Tea Desire. It tastes like apricot and vanilla and doesn't have apricots or vanilla in it, so it's weird, but it is quite tasty. So I'm enjoying a very large cup of that post dinner because I needed a nice light tea post dinner.
Makes sense. I'm
Mm-hmm.
partaking of an adult beverage in the form of some rye, some good Canadian rye. It's all
Sure.
right. Me and my adult beverages. Oh, astute viewers may notice, and maybe Jocelyn, apparently nobody's noticing that I got new glasses today, and no one has commented on it. So either they look terrible and nobody wants to say anything, or they look really good, so nobody's noticing that they're different. I'm gonna go with the second one.
For
That's
the
what I want to
record,
believe.
I'm not actually gonna be able to see them till we're in person, right? Like you.
Details. Details.
You just asked the
Details.
blind lady to see details.
Yes.
You're crazy.
You know what?
Dude,
Maybe if you just like stare harder, if you eyeball harder.
if I eyeball harder.
Yeah, just
Okay,
eyeball
no.
harder.
Eyeball harder? Okay. I will. We're doing that. I mean, astute viewers are gonna notice that this is my background for my personal YouTube channel because I didn't have time to reset up.
Whatever. Books are a good backdrop.
In my mind, they are. However, if you ever thought I wasn't a reader before, we've cured you of that problem. Yeah, no, I don't. I can't see your eyes or the glasses. Like it's too small of a shape for me to focus on when we record via distance. So
No, okay. Well, they're purple again. And larger.
I will look forward to seeing them in person shortly.
Alright.
How does that sound? Oh man, sniffles. I am so sorry about the sniffles. There's just nothing I can do about them. Oh,
Well, let's forge ahead. We'll make it through.
you bet.
You always have more things that you've been working on, so what have you been working on this week?
What haven't I been working on this week? I have a finished object that is going to be talked about in Fiber Flubs,
Oh.
so it's going
Okay.
to shortly not be a finished object.
Oh no.
It is my Northern Plains shawl, which I'm holding up here all bundled up,
Mm-hmm.
because Jocelyn doesn't know how to read the pattern she wrote.
Oh no.
I made the changes. I knew I made the changes. I forgot that I was already past the part where I'd made the changes in the pattern. So Jocelyn needs to rip back half a shawl. So we're gonna be finishing
Oh.
that again. On the bright side, the rest of the pattern works out great. So it's really not really not any problem that the test editors are going to have or anybody else is going to have. So right now I've got schematics of both of the sizes for the shawl up and ready to go for everybody, and I'm sending out the updated pattern. It's Jocelyn made a mistake, and Jocelyn needs to fix it. But that was my fiber flip and my finished object all in one. I did the shawl on two skeins of Midnight Cravings yarn. One's called Beach Glass. It's the blue colored section. And the geode is the gray purpley section, which I can hold up to the camera here. You can't really see the stellina in the geode colorway, but it is there, trust me. But I've done too many of these main stripe sections. I was supposed to stop sooner. So I did the same number of stripe sections for the larger shawl with the smaller shawl size skeins,
Oh.
number of skeins. So, oops.
Oops. That's
I
not gonna
need
work
to
out.
go back and fix that. So we'll see how that goes. Kind of hoping Cease doesn't spend her whole weekend at her partner's place this weekend and is near her mom and her mom's house and her house, because then that puts her within like 2 minutes of driving from my house, and she might be able to rescue me and help me put on a lifeline. That I'm calling Red, going, "Hey Red, what you doing?" I feel like rescuing Jocelyn today, man.
Lifelines, they're a
That's my
thing.
life.
Also reading patterns.
Well,
You wrote
I
the
wrote the
pattern.
pattern.
You
I
literally wrote the
literally wrote
pattern.
the pattern. Yeah, yeah.
Can't follow
It's
your
a
own pattern.
colossal blonde moment. I screwed up my own pattern, you guys.
That's
Anybody
amazing.
can do it if you're not paying attention.
That's
So
amazing.
that's my blonde. That's my blonde moment for a week. Mind you, it's sort of that makes sense considering I haven't had fiber flubs for so long. I was overdue for a gooder, and boy, did we get one.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. So really, really, that's my life, you guys. I suppose you're only working on two things, so I should jump
Yep.
in and do another one, shouldn't I?
Yep.
Yep.
I got my standard two things.
I'm going to actually, as the cozy up girls would say, as a sidebar, I'm making your the event date for all of us to come over and block your shawl. So your hard deadline should be
Okay.
showing up in your Facebook inbox feed
Oh, that's
in
terrifying.
the next 24 hours or so, because I've
Oh
got to
dear.
make the event page for the August meetup, and I gotta make the event page for your blocking party.
It's not a block party, it's a blocking party.
It's a blocking party. We are not doing a celebratory help Red get ready for her second year of nursing school, which starts next month, by blocking your shawl for your wedding. That's not how that's going to work. There's going to be two
That sounds.
meetups because not everybody on the planet's going to want to help you block a lace shawl.
Are you kidding? That sounds like a fantastic Friday night.
Uh-uh. I don't know what kind of Friday nights you have, but that's not my idea of a good Friday night. Because
That
it's
sounds
not
like
my
an
shawl.
amazing Friday night. What are you talking about? Clearly, you don't know how to have a good time.
Well, all of my good time happened before Facebook, so I can deny it. I am working on Diana's scarf for Icon.
Thank you.
All the bribes this woman owes me this year. So this is a scarf for the fairy tale character Natsu. It is a super simple crocheted scarf. Right now it's a moustache.
Very nice moustache.
Thank you very much. It is being done out of the Red Heart Fashion Soft in white. Natsu's scarf is white with a black checkerboard, so I'm going to crochet in the rows, and then I'm going to double stitch over the vertical columns to make the grid pattern. Because I'm lazy, and that's a quick way to do it.
Seems
And I didn't
entirely
want to do the
reasonable.
math. I wanted to be able to make a chunk of white, a little bit of black, chunk of white, a little bit of black, and be done with it quickly. Because I have a lot of other things on my plate. So I decided to do that. Now, your turn, because I've only got 2 objects left.
Okay, well, I have prepared here. I have a nearly finished object. So you know how I said I was going to finish the body of my sock and then put it on waste yarn and then do the other sock up to the same point to make sure they were the same height?
Yeah.
I'm finished up to that point. It is off the needle, and you can't see it on camera, but there is actually waste. Oh, you can. Okay. There's. I have some dental floss in here because that's the smallest thing I had on hand. I didn't have waste yarn on hand. I had unwaxed dental floss, which is what I've been using for lifelines in my lace shawl. So now it's in my sock. But this is a
makes a lot of sense.
Chaussette de la Schtroumpfette, or Smurfette sock, which is a boring vanilla sock that I followed none of the pattern of up until the leg, where I did this cute little cable right up the back. Oh, focus camera. Focus cam. Wait, focus camera?
Nope.
I'm trying.
I'm beginning to think the technology issues aren't you, or aren't me, they're you.
Well, the internet one's not me. The rest of it's totally me. Anyway, there's a cute little cable right up the back, and I'm really pleased with this, and I did this entirely without a cable needle. I can cable without a cable needle. I learned how to cable without a cable needle on the bus, and I'm really, really happy with this cute little cable, and now I am super interested in doing cables again, so that's fantastic.
Good. We had to get you over that cable hump.
Yeah, my hatred of cables is gone now. I still don't want to do 14 stitch wide braided cables, but I am perfectly happy to do little 4 stitch wide ones, which is what this one is.
Yeah.
I should say.
No, I think it's perfectly reasonable not to want to do 14 stitch wide braided cables all the time.
So the speckly yarn is Cinema by Midnight Cravings. It is a white base with dark blue, teal, and mustard yellow speckles. And the teal matches the contrast color for my heels and toes and eventually my cuff, which is called Curtain Call, also by Midnight Cravings. It was a sock set that Jocelyn brought back when she came back from Saskatchewan. That took way too much brain power to say properly.
It did. Do you want to hit pause on the recording for a second and go back because I lost your sound, so we better make sure it showed up on the podcast.
Okay, well, I'm doing the recording, so it should be okay.
It should be okay? Okay.
Because I'm doing the recording, so it got my sound for sure.
I wasn't talking.
I think we're okay.
Okay, good. It's the downside to recording via distance. It's not ideal. But I know you guys are leaving way too early in the morning tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm gonna pry Chris out of bed and make him drive so that I have lace knitting time.
Good plan. He knows how. He should get practice.
Yep. He loves me. He's giving me knitting time.
Does he know that he's giving you knitting time, or is this a surprise for tomorrow?
No, I've asked him several times, and he's begrudgingly agreed.
Oh, good for him.
So, barring any thunderstorms, I won't make him drive in a thunderstorm because he's not that experienced, and that would just be
That's fair.
mean
And
and
that's
potentially unsafe.
yeah,
But
that takes time to learn.
barring bad weather, he can drive just fine.
Good, good.
Anyway,
All
so
right.
sock. I did a sock. So that's one sock done, and I just need to do a second sock.
This was June socks, yes?
Yes. Never mind the fact that we're halfway through July.
All right.
Shh.
Okay. I fractured a bone in my wrist. What's your excuse?
I have a lace shawl that I've been making great progress on.
You've had that shawl of the needles for a while now.
Yes, but now I'm making great strides in progress that I should have been making months ago. And yes, I know
Yep,
that. I am
yep.
well
Okay.
aware of that. I am. Don't worry, I'm doing all
Alright.
the appropriate panicking in my head.
Oh, good. So long as somebody is, because I'm not. It's not my wedding shawl.
Yeah, no, the shawl is the only thing I am panicking about for the wedding. Nothing else.
Uh,
Not the food, not the decorations, not the cake. Everything else is like, meh, what happens, happens. The shawl, you guys. The shawl is so important.
you still haven't come to see your makeup artist, so unless you want me to take an hour and a half to do your makeup the day of your wedding, you need to book that time and be here.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
figure that out. I'm not really sure.
Uh-huh.
We'll figure that
I'm
out.
assuming you don't want me there that early.
We'll figure that out.
Might be wise, my dear. We were supposed to do it this week when you came over to record.
I know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that didn't happen.
I'm aware.
Figure it out.
Running out of time. All right. I will save the stuff everyone's looking forward to till the last because I can. I am that kind of a human being.
Meanie.
I will show you my.
Ooh, it's purple.
I am using carry-on cake colorway, and I forget what color it is.
Purple.
It is a purple colorway. It's got a fancy name. We'll link it in the show notes. We'll link the project page because it'll be in there. Because my tag is over by my sleeping cat, and I'm not getting up. So this is a sort of a circle shawl. That is the name of the pattern. It is a free pattern on Ravelry. You can see I've got some stitch markers in there just to help me keep my wedges
Shush, Windows.
aligned correctly. So I am making my way through this. I am using a 300-gram carry-on cake. It's the big one. I'm trying to free up space in my stash, and I really, really, really love the very kind of thick worsted weight crochet shawls in the wintertime. To either wear, keep, give as gifts, whatever. And this is a simple 2-row repeat pattern, which I started last night when Critical Role started. So that tells you how long of a session it was that I've made it just about to the halfway point.
That's intense.
Yeah, it was a really long, intense episode. So I've started working on that on a 5mm hook. And theoretically, by the time you guys see this podcast on Wednesday, since we're recording on Friday the 13th, I'll be done.
Oh, that's why the tech isn't working. It's Friday the 13th.
Jeez, you're a superstitious, crazy lady. You know that actually has nothing to do with anything, right?
What? No, that's totally the cause. It's totally the
Uh-huh.
cause.
And dice are mean, and it actually matters when you
Yeah,
roll them what happens.
exactly. That's how this works.
Superstitious gamers? Superstitious gamers.
You know what? I'll be over here
It's a
in my
dice, it's an
superstitious
inanimate
corner.
object. Damn straight you will be. Uh-huh. And you can stay there in your superstitious corner. I don't
I
want
will.
nothing to do with you.
You can't see I've got a really good pout going on. No, it's a
That's
terrible
nice,
pout.
dear.
I'm sure I will be
Well,
out-pouted by the 3-year-old this weekend.
I was like, you're gonna spend time with a 3-year-old. I live with an 11-year-old.
Yeah.
Your pouting skills are not up to snuff.
I know.
Children got you beat, man.
Yeah, I know. They're cuter than me too.
All
Probably
right.
helps.
The last thing I have been working on has been my exploration station, which is a knit-along that we are hosting along with. They used to be called the Cozy Up with the Stitches, or they used to be the Stitch and Sisters. They're Cozy Up Knits now. They've finished their rebranding. Feathered Stitches and A Tale of Two Knitters. So, Everybody cast it on the 1st of July except for Jocelyn because her wrist hurt. Because if you notice, I might not have my brace on, but my wrist is still kind of sore. I have a limited amount of time in a week and a day when I'm allowed to knit, but here we go. I have got my first wedge done. I'm into my second wedge. So, two colors
Whoa.
from Dye For You, which is the gray and the green. And then we've got some Knitted Wolf Luxury yarns as my other two colors. So all the colors are listed, but I've got 2 wedges in. Hopefully by the end of the weekend, I will be at Brioche.
Nice.
It so far is working up really, really nicely. I am super happy with the colors, and the pattern is just beautifully easy right now, but I'm not at the Brioche yet, so we'll see how I feel after that. Yikes!
All
So these are
right.
the 2 colors I'm currently working on.
They're so pretty.
Ta-da!
The lighter one was, now that
They
was a
are. They're both
campfire.
my. Yep, the light gray one is, no, that was a good campfire, and then the green one is Criminies.
I want to say Dreaming of
They
Spring,
both
but that
die
was
for
your
you.
socks. Spring in your
That
step.
is my socks.
It was,
Spring in your step, yeah.
yeah. It was
Yeah,
something
no, my
springy.
socks are also die for you. I'm on a bit of a kick, can you tell? But that's it.
Okay.
That's all I've been working on.
All right. As you probably know, if you are a regular viewer, watcher, listener, person, if you regularly consume our podcast in some format or other, you
If
know that
you're a
I work
regular
on.
seeing internet bot. I had to put internet bot in there.
You will, what on earth is Windows? No, Windows, I don't want to restart now. Oh my goodness, Windows
Really
is
beginning
pushy.
to think that technology problems aren't my fault today.
It's just this computer. Every other computer I've used today has worked fine. Anyway, Lace Shawl is what I was trying to lead up to that I was
Sure.
interrupted by. Lace Shawl, Even Star Shawl. It's coming along great. Look at all that progress. It's like a whole inch of progress.
I'm not going to start cheering until you reach your bind off.
I know. But here's a mild cheering point. I'll keep that whole held up because that's pretty. Mild
Okay.
cheering
Well,
point.
yeah, absolutely.
Mild cheering
Okay.
point. I read there was a 4-row repeat in the chart that I had to do 6 times, so the first 24 rows of the chart were the same 4 rows 6 times. I finished that
Yeah.
part. I am on row
Good.
26 of the chart. I am
How many
finished
more
with
to
the
go?
repeats. It's a 71 row chart. Murmel.
Okay. Just checking.
70 somewhat rows. But I'm done the repeats and I am happy about this. And after this,
No,
I'm
that's
going to
good
sit
because that's a
down.
huge chunk.
I'm going to sit down with my drink and I'm going to knit until I pass out. Not from the drinking, from
I
lack of
highly
sleep.
recommend it.
From lack of sleep, not the drinking. Passing
I
out from
highly,
lack of sleep.
I highly recommend it.
Yeah. So
You have made some significant progress. You can do it. You just.
I need to not sleep,
I don't think you're
and
gonna be
it's
sleeping much the day before the blocking party.
probably not. No, I intend to spend the majority of my weekends not sleeping and doing a whole lot of knitting.
That's fine. I got a bunch of sewing on my plate and crocheting someone's scarf for them.
I've already rearranged my sleeping schedule such that I get the minimum amount of sleep required, and the rest of the time is spent knitting. So I'm wringing.
Good. Welcome to my world.
I, I I am wringing every possible knitting second out of life right now.
Good. That's the way it should be. All the knitting, all the time.
So let's
I
hurry
have
up
a
and finish this
readathon next
podcast
week.
so I can get back to that knitting.
Knitting.
Harumph.
Oh, you're in charge of the show notes, man. I'm calling it in.
All right, that is all the stuff. Cause yeah, I did lots of work on the shawl, and I didn't get to the other shawl that I'm supposed to be working on for that knit along. It's sitting here. I can show the yarn if anybody cares, but I didn't knit on it. I was hoping to get
That's fine.
a couple rows done, but that didn't happen.
Well, yeah, your primary goal is your wedding shawl till it's finished, and we do have till the end of September. So,
Yeah.
so long as you haul keister.
Yeah.
Once your wedding shawl's done, you'll be fine.
Yeah. No, everything is going to be so simple when the shawl is done. It will be my magnum opus for a very long time.
Completely fair. Red was asking because me, her, and the Misty of the Funky Fiber Kitchen are going to also make those shawls. So they were talking about beads, and Red was like, "Well, Jocelyn's gonna use beads," and my response was, "If you're pre-threading them for me, sure.
Pretty much.
Otherwise, nope." Guys, I'm winging it to spin or to knit with a fiber I cannot see. Nope, I'm not threading nothing. If you thread them for me, I'll bead the shawl, no problem.
I'm already looking at, okay, do I need all of the beads just to speed this up?
A lot of beads. It calls for like 3,000 beads, doesn't it?
Yeah, there are a lot of beads. I can find out just how many beads are in one repeat of the edging if you give me but a moment.
But a moment.
But a moment.
I don't know. I don't think we have a moment.
Let's see. There's 3 in each of these rows, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's 30 beads per 20 row repeat. There's 30 beads in 20 rows.
That's
And
not bad.
there's 560 stitches around. Oh my. Oh dear. What have I gotten myself into?
I don't know. I truly don't know.
Why
Do
do I do
off
these
screen.
things? Why do I do these things to myself?
Because you're crazy.
I
You
am
had time, but you
absolutely
procrastinated.
insane. Yeah, I did. Well,
Cannot help you.
that's my modus operandi. Modus. That's how I roll. That's how I roll. Now I don't
That's
sleep.
your huge.
Yep.
That's your huge.
I was about to YOLO, but I don't think this is a YOLO moment.
No. That's okay. I was watching the On the Lamb podcast earlier today, because that's what I do. And I was laughing because one of the sisters finished the Wonder Woman wrap.
Mm.
And I was laughing at it because I remembered you're on the Wonder Woman wrap. She made the same one, like the same design,
Mm-hmm.
but she did it in slightly. She did it in different color, like a different colorways than we had. She had the Knit Picks versus honest to Uruguay colors,
Right.
and I was laughing because I remember how hard you had to work last minute to have that shawl
But it was done,
ready
wasn't it?
for the Sunday of C4.
But it was done.
Barely.
It was
Barely.
done.
So it brought back all my memories, and I was like, oh yeah, I remember that shawl.
Yeah. Got done.
It did. No, I don't think I'm gonna work on anything. Sorry, I'm sorting on my.
Right. Fiber flubs. You talked about your flub.
Oh yeah, I talked about my flub. I need to put in a lifeline and take back half a shawl. So my finished object will be a non-finished object next week, but by the time we record next Sunday, I'll have had an extra couple of days.
He'll have all the
So
finished
I
things.
might.
Show me up with all the finished things.
I theoretically, if I'm on target, I should have one coat finished, one coat almost finished. I should have your scarf almost done, if not done. The shawl I'm currently working on done. More work on I should be up to the brioche at the station, which is where I said I was going to put it down till after Stash Dash. And if I really haul butt, though I have a readathon and a couple of other things that are due this week, I should have my Northern Plains shawl refinished.
Wow.
There's lots to do.
Oh. Well. I'm going to make the absolutely insane goal of being in the last. I'm going to say I'm going to be within 10 rows of the end of the chart for next week.
Okay.
I'm saying that on the podcast.
Sure.
Within 10 rows of finished chart 3 by next Sunday.
Okay.
If we record on a different day than Sunday, I'm screwed.
Uh-huh. I'm good to record next Sunday.
Okay, I believe I am also, depending on the madness
Next
of my
Sunday is
bachelorette party.
the day after your bachelorette party.
Yeah. We'll see how that goes. I don't know what we're doing. Do you know what we're doing?
No.
No. So I had a small fiber flub, just to drag it back to the shawl for a second.
Yeah, sure.
I got a pesky extra stitch again. I think I know what happened. I think I yarn overed when I wasn't supposed to yet because I was doing the mesh set.
Oh
Hold this up.
no!
I
The
was
mesh section?
I was doing this mesh section, which is a lot of yarn overs and slip slip knit and knit two togethers, and I think I probably just and then there's this ridgy bit in the middle here, which is like a twisted rib kind of.
Okay, yeah.
And so I think one of the rows I put in a yarn over before the ridgy section that wasn't supposed to be there, is I think what
Oops.
happened. So I just threw in a decrease that wasn't on the chart, and everything looks fine, because I'm pretty sure I just showed you the exact section where it happened, and you didn't see anything, did you? Not you specifically, I
Nope.
mean you, plural, the viewers. Not you specifically.
You're correct. You're correct, Diana. I saw nothing.
I mean the other people, everybody else.
That's fair.
The
I
other
assumed you weren't talking. I assumed you weren't talking to me. That wouldn't have made much sense. Oh
But I mean, it's still a
goodness.
true statement. You didn't see
It
anything.
is. It's true. I did not. Shall we talk about my new hot stuff?
Yeah, let's talk about the new hot stuff. I saw your picture. It looks
On
very hot
Instagram, you
stuff.
may have noticed this week a spinning wheel showed up on the Instagram feed. Ooh. No, I did not drag it into the bedroom to show everybody. It's not a small wheel. It's not a traveling wheel. It's an Ashford traditional. Mine is refurbished. I got it from a lovely lady by the name of Lori. We'll link her stuff in the show notes because we linked her last week, didn't we?
Oh
Or
my
did I
gosh,
forget to send you the info?
I think we're terrible podcasters. We talked about it at length. We'll link it this week.
Excellent. I will make sure you have the info this week. And what she does is she rescues spinning wheels and she refurbishes them so they can find new homes and stuff. So I got it came with its original Lazy Kate and instruction manual,
Ooh.
which is really cool. She did have to replace one of the cores to one of my spindles. No,
I don't know.
bobbins. That's the word I'm looking for.
Okay. Newbie spinner can't help you
Bobbins
with
the word I'm
terms.
looking for. That's fine. I know what word I was looking for. I just couldn't find it. So right now I'm just practicing using the single treadle and getting used to the motion. I know how to draft my fiber because I do drop spindles, so I can do that fine. But I need to work on the foot motion and making it comfortable and intuitive. So right now I'm not actually spinning. I just sit in my computer chair or on this chair and I have the wheel out in front of me and I just practice treadling while I'm either working on something else usually and listening to an audiobook because I usually find it's easier to just kind of get into a flow if I'm not overthinking it.
Yeah.
So,
That's a very
yeah. So that's
amusing image of you treadling a spinning wheel but knitting something completely unrelated.
Cat thinks it's weird too, so you're not alone. Phaedra also stares at me like I've lost my mind. However, it's good. So I'm excited. I'm happy with it, and I'll probably start spinning on it the next couple weeks or so. So
I'm really excited to pet it.
more spinning, which is super
Excited to
funny.
meet
Is
your
Red
new
came
wheel.
over on Wednesday because we started looking for new glasses for after I have my cataract surgery because I need to get bifocals. So she came over to pick me up. We were gonna go check out a couple of places. She didn't even notice it. I had to point it out. It's big, you guys, and it's in my living room.
How did she miss
And I'm like,
that?
and you're driving me. This frightens me.
That's all right. One time I didn't see an entire hat rack because there was a crochet magazine next to it.
Yeah, fair. I'd have the same problem, except I wouldn't see the magazine or the hat rack. So that was my yarn on the go was getting my spinning wheel.
Nice.
Not a lot of knitting, but technically there will be yarn.
I have no yarn on the go. My yarn went to the same boring normal places that I'm not going to talk about again. Mostly it
That's
sat in
fair.
my backpack.
You know, mine spends a lot of time in my purse.
That's where the sock lives. It only comes out of my backpack to podcast. You were going to talk about some coat stuff. That's all I have in the show notes is coat stuff.
Coat stuff? So we're on to so little time?
So little time. Coat stuff.
There you go. Coat stuff. Oh, man. The alterations have been made. I had for the Natsu and gray coats, they needed pop collars and they needed different hems around their cuffs. and different pockets because I went with invisible side seam pockets instead of overlay front pockets,
Right.
which is how the style of the coat worked. So the first pattern has been worked out. My two pieces, one is lining, one is my top piece, went into the washing machine for one final wash just to get rid of excess thread, my chalk marks, make sure I didn't have any problems with anything else. They are fitted to me, so my next step is to, now that the dryer is done, because I can hear it's no longer running, even with my headphones in another room, I will pull them out, iron them, press the seams one more time for good measure, and then start assembling the coat. Now, I don't have these coats are capable of closing, but I don't have any closures for them because I don't plan on closing them. So
Yeah,
I am
well,
not putting in a zipper.
I don't think they have any in the, or depending
They
on
they
which
don't.
specific coat, they're like maybe could be an invisible zipper, but meh.
Right.
Open
I'm
is
not gonna
they're
bother
most of
for
the coats
yeah.
are open.
Open is how we're gonna wear it, and it's a cleaner line. So I'm not putting
Yeah,
in zippers or
yeah,
anything. I
no,
figure if I want to, I can close it up later. I can close it up with a button band.
yeah, no, that's
That's
fine.
easy enough to do. Yeah. So that'll be something I do later if I decide I want to. So that means this weekend I will finish that and I will start out cutting Lucy's coat because
Ooh.
Lucy's up next. Because I see Lucy, or I see Ben who's playing Lucy. We're all doing Ginger Ben cosplays on Thursday for his fitting. So then it's this weekend I have to see you again because the weekend after is Icon and I need to fit you for your coat.
Yep.
Yep. So
At
just
least you already have
budget
my
just trying to.
measurements from the dress.
I do, which lets me cut out the coat, and I have his measurements too. So it lets me cut out the coat, put it together. So it should just be a, does the lining fit? Do I need to add a dart here or there? Does the top layer fit? Do I need to add a dart here or there? And then putting the two layers together. So
Yep.
it helps so much to have everyone's measurements, but that final fitting needs to be in person. You just went through a ton of fittings. You know what's involved in a fitting.
Sadly, yes, I am well versed in fittings now.
On the bright side, there's
So
no
done.
boning or corsetry, so it'll be a lot easier.
Yeah, yeah, it's great.
I won't have to get quite so up personal with you. But that's it for so little time at the moment. The coats have taken over every all the bag production until those coats are done. My niece gets back into town tomorrow. Actually, she's coming home from dad's, and she's spending the next 2 weeks here at home. She wants to make some money for Icon, so I suspect I will have a worker helper. So I will get her to help me press seams and cut fabric.
Excellent.
I'll do the sewing part. I might teach her because some of my bags are pretty straightforward, so she might help with some of that construction too. Because she earns more money the more difficult the labor task. The easier the labor task, the less money she earns.
Fair enough.
It's a ranked system for her. She's 11.
Seems
That's fine.
reasonable.
She wants money for Icon, so she's making her allowance and beefing it up. Works for me.
Yeah.
hmm
I
Oh,
mean chores.
the time-honored tradition of adult responsibility and budgeting,
Yep.
which we were taught as kids and that she's being taught now. So, I mean, that's not saying that she isn't going to get there, have her money, spend her money, call her grandma in a panic if she wants something, and grandma isn't going to fund it. Like, grandma will give her more money, but we're going to at least make her earn some of it. She's the first grandkid, first great grandkid. Getting money out of her grandparents and her grandparents takes her no effort whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
And me and her mom are like, stop it, make her earn the money.
But that's what
God, do you
grandparents
know
are
what you got
for.
so mad at your mother-in-law for? You're doing the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
mm-hmm. Yeah. Shoes on the other foot now.
So I think that brings us on to wool gathering.
It does.
I did a different craft again, different from the usual fiber crafts. I went to a paint night on Thursday,
It's
and I
true, you
painted him a
did.
picture. Let's zoom out. Wait, oh, there we go.
It's a very pretty picture.
So
It's a
it's like
very pretty picture. It looks really good.
it's a sunset or a dawn. I'm not really sure. It's a pink sky with some mountainy things in the background and some birch trees and some marsh grass. I really like how my marsh grass came out. And from this far back on a webcam, it actually looks really darn good. I might just keep it like this forever and ever. No, this is probably going to go hang up in the bedroom because it doesn't have eyeballs. The last thing I did at paint night was polar bears, and they have eyeballs, and I don't want things staring at me when I sleep. So, this one doesn't have eyeballs, so it can go in the bedroom.
It's not alive. It's a painting.
I know, but I still don't like
Painting.
things with eyeballs staring at me when I sleep. Like, even
Never
when I.
sleep over at my house. Never sleep over at my house. My
Yeah,
cat does stare at people while they sleep.
yeah, I don't like it.
Otherwise, you're gonna wake up, scare yourself because the cat's staring at you, which will scare the cat, which will wake me. Like, let's not do that. Oh gosh,
All right, well, that's it for wool gathering. I painted a thing, and it looks okay.
you're crazy, crazy.
I'm not going to dispute that. I thought about it. I'm not going to dispute it.
Nope, nope.
Certified
You do realize
insane.
there's a conflict of interest for us because there's a one-day fiber festival just outside of the city, and it's the weekend of Icon on the Saturday.
Mm, I saw that.
I went, well, baloney butts.
Yeah. Oh well.
We
We're going
simply
to ones in the
cannot be in
fall.
two places at once. We're going to Icon.
We're
Yeah.
going to Icon, and then there's stuff in the. Well, let's segue right into events.
Let's segue right into events.
We'll be going to the Manitoba Fiber Festival in the middle of September. This
It's true, we
September.
will. And then
Wow, that's a loud motorcycle. September 14th and
that was a
15th.
loud
No,
motorcycle.
15th and 16th. One of those days is a weekend.
15th and 16th, I think.
I think so. Yes.
The Friday and Saturday.
Yes. Manitoba Fiber Festival, Assiniboia Downs.
You know we fly out the week after, right? Pretty
My
much.
good. Yeah, it's like
2 weeks later we're in Knit City.
yeah, yeah. And then at the end of the month we'll be in Knit City in Vancouver,
Mhm,
and
mhm.
that'll be fun. It'll be my
Yep.
first time properly in Vancouver, not just in the airport. I'm excited.
It'll be interesting. It should
Also,
be good.
Fiber Festival thing to be excited about.
Fiber Festival.
Okay.
3 days of nothing but yarny goodness. So pumped. Currently, we've got a Stash Dash 2018 going on. It's hosted by Laura and Leslie of the Knit Girls. It is running until the 27th of August. Everything we complete counts towards our personal goals. We compete only with ourselves, which is beautiful because I do not have a competitive bone in my body. So I don't care if I win or lose things. I just like to play.
I'm very competitive against myself and no one else.
I truly have, people are like, aren't you pumped? Don't you? And I'm like, I don't care. I'm just enjoying being here.
Yeah, I have zero desire to compete against anybody else for any reason other than fun. But I am very competitive with myself. Like, can I do better than
Nope.
last year? Can I do better than a month ago? Can I do better than I did yesterday? And yeah, I'm
Nope.
weirdly competitive with myself,
Not a,
but not other people.
not even, not even a thing. So Diana has decided instead of 1K last year, she's challenging herself to 3K this year, which she will totally meet with that Evening Star shawl, which has to be done before her wedding, which is
Yep.
before the end of Stash Dash.
And as long as I have my June socks, which are the ones that I was showing earlier,
Finished.
as long as the second one of that one's finished, and I finish the other shorty purple stripy sock from like May, that should
Yeah.
bring me to 3K. Because that'll
Yeah, it
be
should. And it
3
gets
finished
brilliant.
pairs of socks, because I finished another pair of socks right at the beginning of Stash Dash. So it'll be 3 finished
You
pairs of
did.
socks and a shawl that is 1.5 kilometers all in sewn.
That's true. I did a really big blanket to start with. I'm going for 15K or above.
Crazy
I
person.
have several things that are, because I'm crazy. Well, if you think about it, that one big blanket was, and it's a bit of a misnomer because I say it's a lap blanket because it is a couch lap blanket, but I'm short for my family. You have to understand, I'm 5'10". So when I make lap blankets, they go from the top of my head and drape onto the floor because all the male members of my family are over 6 feet tall.
Oof.
And they're all, well, no, Grandpa's quite a skinny dude, but he's like 6'3". So when I make a lap blanket, it is the width for like a single bed, which is a good width size for couch, but it is 6+ feet in length because it has to cover them. Otherwise, it's too short and they won't use it. So I have about 5 kilometers worth of crocheted yarn in that one project, which is done.
I believe it.
I have 2 shawls that are completed. I have to add one. One is already added, and I have a finished pair of socks that I finished and Stash Dash started. I still have many more things to go.
Yeah, you're gonna meet that crazy person goal. You and your
I think the 15K goal was probably the right goal for me to have.
you're gonna smash it and make them add another level above.
It says 15 or more. That's sort of the top tier is crazy and to supremely extra crazy, and I'm just like, oh, that's where I belong. Okay,
Crazy and above. Okay.
crazy and above. That's where I am, folks.
I'm
So that's
just
going on.
slightly above casual.
That's totally fair.
Filthy
We started
casual.
a
No.
song on the 1st of July called the Across the Prairies Cal. We've talked about it in our Woolly Workings.
Well, you
It
talked
is
about
running
it.
till the.
Mine's
That's true. That was
non-existent
me.
this week.
Yeah, sure. It runs till the end of September. You really, 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 if you've thought about doing the Exploration Station shawl, which is a Stephen West pattern,
Mm-hmm.
if you've thought
Super
about it
fun.
and you've been like, I don't know, maybe I'm gonna super highly peer pressure you into starting the shawl.
Because if you finish it on time, you can enter for prizes 4 times.
Yeah, yeah, like that could really work out on your favorite guys.
Mm-hmm.
And let's be honest, is a Stephen West shawl, the hashtag and all the projects I've been watching people do have so many beautiful color combinations. Everyone
Yes.
is doing an amazing job. I am so stoked with everything. I was telling Diana before we recorded about the Cozy Up Knits, about Chrissy's shawl specifically. Her use of yellow as one of her color wedges is just, or
Oh,
not yellow,
okay.
sorry, orange.
Gonna
It's
have to go
just
find that after.
so good. It's so good. Jamie's is excellent too. Like everybody who's working on them has picked some amazing colors. But I like that sort of pop that you get with a lot of the colors. I'm just
Mm-hmm.
so happy that everyone's doing it. So super stoked. We have prizes.
Super love
Everybody has
seeing all
prizes.
the pictures, by the way, that people are posting in the chatter thread. I'm so sorry I don't comment on any of them. I hit the little love button. I hit the love button. Ooh. You know what I
I'm
mean.
not
Get
even
your
gonna.
mind out of there.
I'm
but
just gonna leave that alone and move on. I try to
I
reply
super appreciate
to as
seeing them.
many as
Okay.
I can. I try to reply to as many as I can.
Oh.
I'm getting better about Ravelry.
I think I'm getting worse, so that's good. Between the two of us, we maintain a steady level.
That's good. Yikes. So that's going on. We have the year-long Year of the Sock knit along,
Mm-hmm.
which is for every pair of completed adult socks you do in 1 month, you get an entry. Uh, you know, if I make 12 socks this year, I'm doing a war victory dance. My wrist really slowed me down.
Yeah, keep
Very
showing us
frustrating.
up. We love that you're all showing us up. We're doing terribly at our own knit along, so please keep showing us
Oh
up.
God.
We love seeing that.
Uh-huh.
It validates us being here on the internet, just spitting out ideas, and then you do the ideas, and it's like, whoa, we had good ideas. This is cool. People think we had good ideas.
I have a reason for the prizing I'm collecting. I am going to be so excited to give prizes away to people. It's going to be great. Uh, for active cows or knit-alongs or giveaways and stuff, I think that's all we're running at the moment. There are a couple of other sort of like year-long ones that I'm participating in, but I'm not actively working on them right now, so they don't really count. And of course, we've got stuff that's coming up later in the year. There'll be Grinch-along, which I'll participate in. I don't know if Diana's going to join me this year or not.
I'm gonna try really hard. I said that last year, but I'm gonna try
Yeah,
even harder this year. Compete with myself and do better.
okay. I've already posted into the Facebook group the Christmas stuff with the regulations, and I'm closing the event down on the 15th of August, and everybody who's participating will get into their own messenger, will get a message from me restating all of the rules for the Christmas gifting for the knit group. And
Mm-hmm.
then September the 1st, I'm off to the races because I am done my Christmas knitting by the end of November.
I think I know what I'm gonna knit for everybody this year,
Okay.
and it's not gonna be in pairs.
You mean you're not going to make us all mittens again?
No, I'm not doing mittens again. They're gonna be
Uh,
smaller and singular.
that makes a lot of sense. So for that's it for us for a bit. It's not enough. There are ones that I've been looking at and I'm eyeballing and I'm like, yeah, I could join that. That could be a thing.
Stash dash. Finish things. Finish things.
Gotta finish things first.
Finish
And
things.
then And yeah, it'll be like August 28th. I cast on like 55 million things.
Yeah, I imagine you will.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, okay. That's it for us for the week, I think.
That is everything.
Sweet.
Whew, it is warm in here. You can probably tell I'm getting shiny. It's warm in here. I had to turn off the air conditioner that's right behind me because it's
Sure.
loud.
I have central air.
I'm dying a little bit. It's like, I don't know. This one says temperatures in Fahrenheit, and when I shut it off, it was already 76. I can only imagine what it is now.
My basement, which I live in the basement. I live in a one-bedroom in the basement. It's set to keep the upstairs at 21 degrees, which keeps the basement at 18. So I'm 18 degrees a year round.
I'm very envious of that right now.
That's
I'm pretty
totally
sure
fair.
it's 28 in here.
Oh yeah, that'll be kind of toasty.
Yeah.
So we'll wish everybody a good week, and I'll say I'm Jocelyn.
And I'm Diana.
And no matter where your week takes you, don't
Don't
forget
forget
to
to
knit.
knit.
Super didn't do it.
It's on time on my end.
It's so off on my end.
I know, but it sounds good on mine, which is what counts, because I'm recording this time.
No, really, it's supposed to sit down, but it won't. Just keeps falling. Fine, it looks fine on the shoulders, just not meant to be on the shoulder. She's so passed out, right up by the head of my bed.